Welcome to the Creative Masterminds podcast.
Where we create more and destroy less, you already know.
For show, you have Sean Brees in the house, and you also have,
Cast Thrive, what's happening, folks?
and funny enough, what Cass said is actually going to be the subject today. We are going to talk about are you creating or are you destroying? And so we are going to try to help you realize the importance of just being mindful of what you're doing throughout your day, and be mindful in regards in a very binary way, and ensuring that you are creating more and destroying less. And so
Bang,
with that
bang.
said, we are going to jump into the subject. Well, not to the subject, but we're going to jump into the weekend review like we usually do. So, Cass, what did you get done this past week?
Oh, man, had a great week. The birthday celebration
Yes,
continued
sir.
through, and yeah, the girls and my wife, they took me out to Fogo de Chao, which is one of my favorite restaurants. So we got to eat, celebrate there. The younger kids, they were with Grammy and got to hang with her. Shout out to her and the daughters and wifey for all the love. It was a great weekend. And other than that, man, just brainstorming, really trying to put together, the pieces of the puzzle to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that the empire, the gifts that I have, that everything that that is within me, that God's blessed me with, that I'm using it to the fullest, to the utmost. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So just continuing what we do.
Yeah, I rock with that, man. Planning is so important, and yeah, I just rock. I just love the fact that you mentioned empire and planning. Those, like you said, those things, those buzzwords for me, and I just love those words. All right,
Straight up.
for me, it's like business as usual. I put them bars in, rapping, making songs and such. I worked on, so I'm working on an EP right now. I'm gonna look to my left, which has my track list that I put out for myself, and so it's like a three track EP so far, but it's gonna be different. Like the three tracks are actually gonna be like gonna have like maybe two or three songs within each track, and it's gonna. The cast has heard my most recent track, the Kobe Bryant inspired one called 824 Mamba, and essentially I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to build off of that concept and make an EP. And I think it's just a very different way to put out a project that's like lengthy. It's kind of lengthy, or at least like an EP range, but it's also short looking. Like it's three tracks, but it's gonna be maybe 18 minutes long. And
Longer
so,
songs.
yeah,
Dope.
and I'm going to like do different various beat switch up. I have gotten into that type of just mode with my beats. I'm heavily influenced by Timbaland, and that's like one of the things that I love when I heard Timbaland beats when I was a kid. I would love the fact that there would be a beat switch, and I would anticipate the beat switch every time he would do it. And so I just loved it, and so I incorporate that into my music, and so that's currently my style I'm rocking with at this moment. So I'm doing that, enjoying that very much so, and of course reading, gaining more and more knowledge and trying to, really take on that Mamba mentality. I've been like looking at different interviews from Kobe Bryant and just really getting game and getting jewels and wisdom from him. Just be doing that, and also, of course, spending time with the family, which is most important. Family is your foundation, and I'm happy that I'm at a point where I'm like really just focused on family first, and then I focus on my business, and then it's like really it's like one or the other. So family or business. So I just really like the rhythm of my life at this very moment. We did go to the movie yesterday. We saw Star Wars, which was actually pretty good, man. I was pretty surprised, or I was pretty surprised because like part two was trash, and so if you hesitate in regards to seeing part three, the latest trilogy, go ahead and go see it, and that's going to be my free plug for today. And mainly that's it. Actually, I do want to slide in one thing right quick, and so shout out to this guy named Orange Origami. I met him at the gym, and this is really a good testimony in regards to being a person, or just being a person who is friendly, who smiles at people, who don't walk around with the too cool look or the resting bitch face. It's like for real, like people. I actually talked to this young lady the other day, like on Friday, about this. Like people be walking around the gym with the resting bitch face or the too cool look, and to me, it's like a really a sign of insecurity. Like they try like to put on this look so they won't get talked to. So, well, it could, or maybe they don't really want to get talked to. But to me, it just seems kind of weird. And so 'cause I used to have that mentality myself. I used to kind of walk around with the too cool looking. And I realized that all right, I kind of look like I feel like a lame because I'm not interacting with nobody. It's kind of weird. And so after I got rid of that too cool looking, actually started interacting with people, I started to make some pretty cool connections. So I met this guy at the gym. He made like he makes sample packs like randomly. He followed Illmind. Also, he followed this guy that I watched Zoe Williams. He also followed this guy Corey Holcomb as well.
You
And
talking
so
about Igami? Is he got blonde hair?
no, not that dude. It's another
Okay.
dude. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's pretty fire too.
Yeah,
He
he's
started. His is Orange Origami. It's unique name. But he got some fire stuff, man. I already used like one of his packs. He like sent me over some packs. And this is another testimony too. Like, be a person who is also open to receive things. Like, so of course I was like willing to pay him for his packs. Like, I told him like I played a beat for him or I played the song for him, the Kobe Bryant one, and I asked him like based off of the song, like what recommendation would you like give me in regards to which pack I should purchase? And then he just sent me 2 packs like free of charge. And you know, of course, a part of me was like, oh, let me go ahead and pay him. But another part was like, hey, maybe you should just receive this as a gift because another part of like in life in general, you need to also be able to receive things from others because that allows the flow. Like because this person is essentially giving you their energy, like they're giving you something, so you receive it, and I received it. You know, what I'm saying I used it already in one track for sure. I'm going to go dig through more of his content. And I will for sure purchase one of his packs in the future. But yeah, shout out to Orange Origami. Cool dude. He lives near here. And so that's a testimony in regards to like, hey man, smile at people, talk to people. Don't be like a friendly person. Like don't be looking goofy. But I'm saying like just smile at people, like say hello, you know, just talk to people, ask questions, actually be like genuine with your questions and actually try to be interested in what they're saying. And, you know, it works wonders. And from that I got 2 free beat packs from Orange Origami, and like now I got some fire content from that. So shout out to Orange Origami. Free
That's
plug.
what's up.
All right, and so yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the subject, which is: are you creating or are you destroying? And so, Cass, go ahead. What kind of brought about the subject for you? What does the subject make you kind of think about?
Man, it's just like breaking it down to life in its purest form, or
Yep.
living, and it's are you either working towards creating and growth and expanding and increasing, or are you in the negative and in the decline negative and working towards destroying something or death? So it's that life or death, it's the yin and the yang. It all works together, and we experience different things, but what is our focus on? What are we like a representative of? I consider myself a representative of light, life, growth, and speaking those things into existence. I would rather speak on that than death or destroying something, or
Wow.
hurting something, or of that nature. And when I do that, it actually drains me. It makes me not feel good, So, I think that that's very important
Yeah.
that
Wow.
we pay attention to the decisions that we make and what the outcome will be, and what we want the outcome of the situation to be, or whatever it may be, because we want it really, it should be automatic that and we probably work over across the board doing both throughout the day, but we want to practice the positive side, the life growth, giving birth to good things, and how we would do that is just practice that and focus and be able to recognize when we're on the negative, or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on that path of destruction or
Mm-hmm.
destroying something. And I think that that's super important. That's like vital and one of the most important things in life.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And I want to say, and it all starts with your words. I kind of had this thought, not kind of, I had this thought like last week. It was like one of those bathroom epiphanies.
Yeah.
Where you had them bathroom epiphanies where like I had like the moment like, man, like every word like that you like have in your mind really determines like your success level. Like if you have nothing but negative words, destructive words that like you're tearing yourself down, you're gonna end up having like a very negative mentality where you actually more than likely would end up speaking negative to others and speaking destroying others with your negative work, with your negative energy. On the flip side, like if you're a person who ensure that you have kind words within your mind. Like it's dope to hear. Like shout out to my there's a whole bunch of shout outs today. Shout out to my sister in law and shout out to my other sister in law. She's not like blood married, but like they're a sister of my wife. Essentially, they kind of grew up together, and so
Yeah.
they actually gave me like props in regards to like how I speak about myself in my videos. Like I'm not sure if you've seen my cooking videos, but I be going hard. Like I'm the best cook, I'm the dopest, whatever. And they took from that like, oh man, like they're actually aiming to speak like that to themselves. For this year, and and what I'm doing really in the moment, like I may be actually be feeling like oh this sucks or this is terrible, but I'm actually hyping myself up. I'm more so putting positive words in my mind, and so I can feel those positive energy from the words that I'm saying in my mind, so I can really build up myself, so I can really build up myself, so I can then create something that's fire. And so that's to me like the importance of words, and so like your words really matter, and your words really affect if you are either creating something or you destroying something. I remember that I think there was was it George Washington Carver? It was somebody who did like a test where they had like some plants growing, and to one plant they were speaking ill and talking negative and all negative things to it, whatever. And then that plant ended up like wilting and like dying off or just looking terrible. And then they had like another plant where they were speaking positive things to the plant, and the plant ended up like growing and thriving, right? And so that's how important your words are. So it starts with your words. If you want to be a creator, have positive words in your mind. Always have give yourself positive encouragement. Always try to believe in yourself. There will be moments where you have disbelief within yourself, but you have to really push through and be mentally tough and overcome that. And so yeah, man, your words really matter in regards to like I think that's like the foundation in regards to if you're going to create something or you're going to build something. It starts with the words that you say. Start with the words that you have in your mind. That's why meditation is very important. So you are able to pause your minds, and then whenever you are on a negative thought pattern, you can pause your mind, reset, and start over. And so yeah, man, words matter. And so I think like that's to me a good foundation to start with in regards to like if you want to be a person who create or destroys.
Most definitely, man. And when what you just said, because there's many variations of like there's people that have talked to rice
Mm-hmm.
and the experiment. So there's many different ones where scientists or people have done experiments on the voice and the frequency, and that
Mm-hmm.
just it opened my eyes up just thinking about it right then that we live in soil. We have all these different frequencies from cell phones to the internet waves. So essentially, we are surrounded in soil. So what's saying something plants it in that soil. We are in
Mm-hmm.
a frequency soil right
Yep.
here, and it's invisible. We can't see it. A lot of that, you know what I'm saying. But once we say something,
Mm-hmm.
it's planted, and then how it's watered and nutrient, put nutrients in it and all
Mm-hmm.
that, to give it life and to continue for that seed to actually grow and sprout is our faith and how we believe in what we
Mm-hmm.
just said. And if we go back to it, hey, that seed's there. I planted that there, and I believe on that. I'm sticking to that. I'm
Yep.
waiting to see that fruit. I'm waiting to see,
Yep.
and that's why affirmations and
Mm-hmm.
continuous, the secret and all those different things. They, are taking it from really that all comes from God. That's
Yep.
He was the first one to speak everything into existence. Some people
Yep.
may not believe that, but that's what I believe, that that's how we are made in his image, that we're able to do that. And by speaking it, I mean, it just dawned on me like, man, we are in soil right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeds in soil, and what we say can, depending on how we, as the sower of the seed, how we take care of that seed that we put in there. We can say it from our mouth. Yeah, we can plant, oranges. We can plant that way to that soil, but in the other realm, the unseen realm, which we know exists because you could text me right now and I can get that text and there's no strings attached. We can't
Mm-hmm.
see it. You know what I'm saying? So that does exist. We're breathing in air we can't see. So it does exist, but we are essentially in soil right now. So, we definitely need to use that to our advantage and let that sink in, soak in our minds that, hey, we can make it happen. We can do, we could create, or we can destroy.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and you saying very important things because like what you say into like you speaking things out like you said like we're in this frequency soar, right? And what you say is like what you can try to like vibrate to, but I'm really trying to get it to like what you put out is like what you trying to you put out into the universe, right? And then like it made me think about when I was reading this book, "Asking It Is Given." I mentioned this book a few times on here, and
Hmm.
the whole thing like it speaks a lot about like your vibration, your vibration level, and like basically like if you want to get to a certain level of success, you have to understand that you have to work your way up vibrationally to that level, and then from that level you will start to attract those things, right? And so that's why I think it does go back into like what words you put out or what words you say, and keep having like those positive affirmations, like Cass say, like you saying that, in the ritual way, I would say like you have to have like positive affirmations where you constantly tell yourself positive things because we have to be very frank and understand that we live in a very negative world. Like I would say, it's majority negative. A lot of people aren't really doing what they love. A lot of people are drifting in life. I got the term drifting from this book, Outwitting the Devil, which is a very good book. So I would highly recommend that. Free plug. And so where basically a lot of people just work the 9 to 5 life, and I did it too. I did it too, to the point where I just got fed up and I realized it was just affecting my family and really, it wasn't my family at the time, or it was affecting my wife to the point like, or I felt like me and my wife relationship wasn't as great, even though it's a cool relationship, of course, but like it could be greater in my opinion. Me leaving and me having some better energy, I feel like I would be a better husband, a better man. Well, I wasn't her husband at the moment, but a better man in general to her. So a long way to say
Yeah.
all that. But that's one thing I had to do. I had to get away from that negative environment I was in. I felt like that environment was negative for me, and because it kept having me in low vibration, low energy, and it took me a year or some change to really start to level up my vibrations by like having positive affirmations, me working out too. We talked about this offline, me eating better as well. One thing I did when I left Lockheed Martin, I went on a diet. Thankful for my wife. She did a Whole30 diet, which had me eating better, eating healthier food, which had me vibrating at a higher level. This stuff all matters in like those vibrations, right? In the frequencies, because you really do need to be vibrating at a higher frequency to attract what you want. I'm also thankful that this past week I've been on the wave of drinking my teas. I've been drinking my ashwagandha. Some lady corrected me, and I didn't like that. She was like, those people who be like, well, actually, it's well, I like, show you lame. But anyway, so it's ashwagandha. I think I said ashwagandha, whatever before. But anyway, my ashwagandha and some other herbs I be taking, and that has me vibrating at a higher level, and I could feel it too. I could feel my energy, and I feel like people are actually responding to me differently. Like whenever I interact with people, I can actually feel people's energy, and like, okay, I can tell like a person is responding to me well or not. And so, like, it's all go back to those vibrations and the energy that Cass be talking about, or Cass just talked about. That stuff is very important if you really want to attract those things that you desire in your life. You have to vibrate at a higher frequency, and what you put into your body, it will affect if you're going to be a creative person. Like if you up here eating these just pork sandwiches all day. You know what I'm saying? Like no nutrients at all. Like when I was eating terrible, like you're gonna feel horrible. You're gonna feel, and you're not gonna be in a good state. You're not gonna be vibrating at a good level to really attract those things. And so, yeah, like all that stuff matters. So it's crazy how big of a realm, or how much really goes into being a person who had the mentality of if you want to be a creator or a destroyer for sure.
Yeah,
I think those
man.
matters.
Go ahead. What did you say?
I just saying like I think all those things matter. Like we don't take those things into account, but a lot of stuff matters that we don't believe matters. Like I said, the food and everything. But yeah, go ahead, Cass. Before I go on another tangent about food.
but yeah, the body, yeah, this is our vessel, so it definitely matters because this is how we are here. You know, this is
Yeah.
what our spirit or soul is wrapped in. But that's what will guide our body to. That's what our body follows. You know, is our spirit and our mind. That's why we got to be just. We got to be mentally strong. We got to be like you read in books, like you are thirsting for knowledge, like myself. And that's to the listeners out there, whoever may come across this, that's very important. Your inner being, you need to strengthen that. You need to have a good relationship or understanding that needs to grow. The body will follow. You need to have. That's what I've been on my sons about. Like I was like, okay, I need to get them to understand. You got to have self control early. Like now, this is when they're misbehaving. That's the phrase I use. You got to have control. You got to have self control. So when you're able, and that's an inner thing. That's not like it's don't do this and all that, but you got to have an inner self control to bring the body under submission, where the body don't just have you get a craving or you get this and you don't go off and I got to have this, and you know what I'm saying. And that's hard for young boys, men. That's very hard, especially this day and age with social media, with the women with the goods out and all that.
With the goods out. It's true though. It's a lot of distractions. And it's almost set up like it's kind of crazy because like in my mind like. It's set up in a way where it's supposed to be like a temptation of sorts, like distractions or whatever. Because like, what will make the journey would kind of be less fun if you didn't have like these battles with yourself, and because like you had these battles with yourself, like maybe seeing girls' goods and stuff like that. You have these battles with yourself like that causes you to, like you say, practice self-control. And in order to really get to that point of like having good, solid self-control, you have to really know yourself, really learn yourself. And it's cool to take time to really learn yourself, man. That's like one of the greatest things I did this past year. I mean, actually, I know this is what you're doing too, Cass. Like, the fact like we're working for ourselves, we're able to have our own time, and we focus on like, all right, first, are we? I think for us it's aligned to like our best things or what we want to try to do. I know I'm up here getting excited. We try to be like the best husband we can be, and also like the best fathers we can be. And those, like, to me, like, those are like what I'm trying to really like. I want to be the best husband. I really want to be the best father, and those like are the most important things to me. And that causes me to really challenge myself in different ways and make sure that I'm focused and making sure that I have the right mentality and making sure that I am eating right, so I don't eat terrible things and have terrible thoughts. Because like your thoughts are affected by what you eat. Yeah. Like if you don't know that, you wonder why after you eat that pork sandwich. I'm sorry to be killing you guys who eat pork. That pork sandwich and then you have your Coca-Cola, then all the sugar, then ice cream, whatever. Then you end up feeling terrible. Then you end up hitting like you hitting up a girl who probably you shouldn't be hitting up, and then anyway, that's a tangent, but you get what I'm saying. People get what I'm saying. That hey. What you consume will affect your decisions. And so, yeah, you got to be mindful of that. I know I'm going back to the eating good thing, but I really do. I'm really on that kick right now. And even, like, it's like another sidebar, but and the importance of stretching, like your body, and making sure that your body is in proper alignment with yourself, because your body not, like, don't have the right elasticity. I think that's the right word, elasticity. And the proper stretches and everything, that really throws off your body rhythm. And so, man, a lot goes into like if you want to be a creator or destroyer. And a lot of it starts with yourself. And so, yeah, man.
Yeah, man, that self control, that it can't. I mean, I was in the middle of thinking about something else, but I thought, that's important because that's what I've been on with my sons, that self control. So get them right. Absolutely. You gotta control the body, because or else the body will lead us to
destruction.
Yeah, exactly.
I best say, like, because you want a good example, like 20s, essentially in your 20s, or I say for myself, my 20s was like me just letting things just go. It was like laissez-faire, in like fair game, and kind of you just go at the whim of what your body want, or like just impulses or whatever. You don't have like much like control or idea like what you want to go for. Like, of course, I had goals of like corporate things and like society thing, but like I wasn't as focused as I am now, and I definitely didn't have as much self control as I have now. So yeah, it's an ongoing process, and like the more you know yourself and you learn yourself, the better self control you can have of yourself, and and really get into the real reason thing, and ask yourself serious questions. Learn yourself, man. It's very important for that self control. That self control is everything.
You're stuck with yourself for a lifetime.
Yeah,
You're stuck with you. You better learn.
Yeah, that's fact. Like you better get to know the man in the mirror for sure. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, man. Another thing though, man, is like I was, we were driving back yesterday, kicking it with the fam, watching the Super Bowl, but it hit me. It was like, man, you're committed, but you're not 100% committed. You know what I'm saying? To everything. Like I am. I don't want to. Well, yeah. Other people will get it because I don't want to say anybody else, but it's definitely me. Like this is a conversation with myself of getting to know myself, and that inner being or that spirit came and talked to me, and it was like it confronted me. It was like, hey, you're not being 100% with it, 100% in. And it was like with, ultimately with God, with family, with everything, it was like a big like reality check. It was like you can go harder. You're not being committed 100%. You're getting better and all that, but you're not being committed 100%. You've always then it started giving me freaking examples from the past, like, hey, you've always been like, you'll do this, but you always like, well, if it's not, you leave a little bit to recover or to bounce back or whatever, but you don't go all the way in like you should, or like, especially dealing with God, you have to go all the way in. You can't be on the, lukewarm, because that's what it talks about. Like, one of the churches or one of, in like Revelation in the word, it talks about like there were some that were over committed, some that didn't commit at all, and it said it would be better if you didn't commit at all, because lukewarm, that God spews that out of his mouth if it's lukewarm. You know what I'm saying? So like it rather be hot or cold, but don't be in the middle where indecisive. That's what it boils down to, being decisive. So
it's like
I was like,
I think it's like an example could be like it's like you treading water, but you're not going nowhere. Like it's like you're just all right, but you're not really trying to swim towards a destination. And so like, are you just exerting energy for the sake of exerting energy?
Just floating.
It's funny. I had the same realization, but mine came directly from my wife more so. It was like in passing, like when she's had like analysis of like, so I'm the idea guy. Like I can have a million ideas. Like we got ice cream machine or ice cream maker or whatever. And I made some fire ice cream the other week, and like, oh, maybe we can sell these ice cream. I up here like thinking of a plan, and like basically there was a came a point in time where I felt like she wasn't like believing in what I was saying. Whatever, it was like kind of weird. Like I would tell her ideas, like, but she kind of just seemed like whatever. But anyway, it came to a point where she had told me that I jump from a lot of things, so she doesn't know which one is serious. I'm serious about. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good point. And then that made me think, like, you know what? I made me think about like, damn, I'm up here looking at all the tracks that I have that I be jumping from next to next track, whatever, that's not finished. Then like, damn, wifey know me. You know what I'm saying? Wifey right. Well, of course she know me. But wifey right. I like, yeah, you're right. And so that made me think, like, you know what? That's why I wrote those 3 tracks down. Like, finish those tracks. Stop jumping from thing to thing.
They'll tell you about yourself.
Yeah. They do it slick too. They do it like in passing, like, well, you just jump from thing to thing.
Then out of there, right? She
what you say? You know what I'm saying? What you say? And so she did that, and like, she right, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I ain't get mad. Of course, I ain't get mad. Like, yeah, you're right. Okay, all right, you're right. Point. So like that made me like bruh. You know, because to me, indecisiveness is like a sign of, to me, a fear, a lack of faith, as
Yeah.
well. I think he spoke about that in Think and Grow Rich too, like indecisiveness and how bad that is. So
Yeah.
yeah, me
That's like
jumping
my
from things.
boy
Yeah, go
Miles
ahead.
Monroe, man. A cat I always listen to. He with me, it's like, and you yourself too. I already know. We he has many. He's many gifts. He was talented and gifted in many things. He was a painter. He was a speaker. He was a pastor. He was a musician. He was all these different things. And he was like, when you're multi-talented and all that, you can't focus. You spread all over. But he's like, no, you have to focus on one of them,
Mm-hmm,
go
mm-hmm.
forward with that, and then all of your other talents will find their way in that. But you have to
Mm-hmm.
focus your energy on one and go through. And we've said this in the
Mm-hmm.
past and all that, and I know it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to do.
Yeah,
It's
cause like the ego,
that's the
right? I
key.
know
Yeah,
it's like the ego think that
yeah,
you believe that you can do everything, but
yeah,
then time tells you that you can't because time runs out on you. Like, damn, I can't do it, but it's gonna be a lot of time that I have to dedicate towards. You know, like let's say if I want to be the premier movie, I know I could be like the premier movie director at one point in time, but I can't focus on that right now because like that's gonna take a time away from me what I'm doing with music, and I'm becoming better with my music, and I'm really developing a rhythm with my music. So that's why like I have started to focus more so on music, and more specifically on rapping, and not like so now when I produce, I'm more of a sample based producer, a loop based producer, as opposed to like really kind of producing everything out at this very moment because I really focus on like rapping now and getting that down because that's my main, always been my first love. Like my first love was rapping. So it's
yeah.
a process, and I'm trying to like focus on that and then bring things in slowly but surely. But I know there had to be a certain point in time where I need to hire a mix engineer. I'm gonna have to work with some different producers, and like so I don't have that much workload on me, so I can focus on other things, like most importantly, family.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah. It was a good eye opener, and I appreciate that because like that's one thing too. Like when you have a family, you're way more mindful of your time because like you
Oh,
don't want to neglect your family. 'Cause your family is your power source. Like you just feel I just feel terrible as a person. Like if my family's not good, I just feel terrible. So yeah, and I say all that to say that. So yeah, yeah,
yeah, man. That's it, man.
yeah,
And that all plays into us. Where are we at when we're talking, discussing these and all that? We're on the life side of things. We're on
yeah,
the growth side of
yeah,
things.
absolutely,
Pushing our family forward.
absolutely,
Our what we give the world, our gifts, our
absolutely,
talents, and our services.
yep,
That's the life side of things.
yep,
That's what we want to push forward. That's what we
mm-hmm,
want everybody that's listening
mm-hmm,
to do, is to push forward to the life side of things.
mm-hmm.
Um, Death, or destruction, all of those things. They may try to rear their head up, fear, all of that. You know, Spot it, recognize it. Deal with it as what it is. Don't act like it doesn't exist or whatever. It is what it is. But we're representative of life, of growth, of light. Of God, and that's the moves we making, man. That's straight
Absolutely.
up.
Super duper fast, man. And with that said, we can go ahead and wrap up the podcast. So yeah, Cass, do you want to go ahead and give out your socials? I think you had like a fire ending, so we can. I don't need to discuss anything else. So yeah,
For sure, man. This was a great episode.
for sure.
God bless. I'm gonna even say a prayer for those that listen. That will check this out in the future. God bless y'all on y'all endeavors and on the life side of things, and growth and prospering and success. Amen. So you catch me on Instagram, CAS_THRIVE. Also the Boxing Bell. I'm a USA boxing coach, fitness coach. Holler at me if you need any tips on anything. If you want to come train, you local. Let's get it done.
Yep. For me, you can find me at Sean Breeze on Instagram, SeanBreeze.com, BreezeLifeMedia.com, and
Yeah, yeah.
also TheCreatorMasterminds.com. Also, you can check out The Creator Masterminds on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube. all of those platforms. So yeah, you can check us out. Check us out for sure.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
man, this has been the Creative Masterminds Fire Podcast,
Yeah.
and we are out, man. Peace.
Holla.